No, Kimberly, what does that say to you?
To me, that it's almost like if you don't believe in yourself enough to accomplish something, it's never going to happen. So if you expect it of yourself, it will happen. You can accomplish what you expect. Look at if you expect to have a bad day, it'll happen.
Exactly.
If you expect to have a good day, it'll happen. If you expect, so anything that you expect of yourself, it can happen with the right attitude. If you want to accomplish something, expect it of yourself. If you set out that something is so far away that you'll never get it anyway, it's never going to happen.
Right.
You're
small steps.
The classic self-fulfilling prophecies. Mm-hmm. Like people have this impression, oh, well, I guess I'll give it a try. I know it's not going to work out, but I know it's going to rain on Tuesday because I washed my car. There's these things, and it's like this self-fulfilling. And if you expect that, then absolutely. That's why I was like, when I washed my car, I'm like, it's going to be so sunny.
For days.
Yes. Like, we're going to face a drought because I washed my car.
That's what happened in California.
Exactly.
Somebody washed their car?
Yeah. They had this
Doggone
positive. So, I think you must first expect it before you can ever, you must expect to have it happen before you can ever accomplish something. I love that. Absolutely.
And I think another thing that it says is to walk your walk.
Yes.
And talk your talk.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
And that leads me to the second one. These are just ones that I heard yesterday and today, and then you can pick
something
one.
Real quick on that.
Please.
On that first part, it used to be said, believe it and you will see it.
Exactly.
Yes. And that's just the shortened version.
Yes.
Believe it and you will see it no matter what.
You know, and a truth is a truth is a truth.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this next one kind of says, and I love this because this one, you could hear so many different twists on this as well. It's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than it is to think your way into a new way of acting. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I just love that. And, you know, when a lot of times when I'm coaching and they say, oh, I've never been like that. I could never do. Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm. You just think you can't. Mm-hmm. And if you think you can, you can.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So you pick one now. Deb, I'm going to give this to you, and you pick one as well.
I can't. Oh, okay.
Do you have your glasses?
No, I don't. Okay, we just did that one. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal and with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who is getting burned. Buddha. Holding resentments.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Resentment. How is it? They say it's the reverse. Oh, yeah. A resentment is actually pointing right back at you.
Right. If you hold your hand out and point to somebody, there's three fingers pointing back at you. Right?
Pointing back at you, yes.
But Buddha said it. I bet you he was the first one.
There.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
I think Buddha probably was the first one, but he knew about resentments.
Right. And over again, you hear that. You hear people say that all the time in every philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? A double-edged sword?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You pick one now.
I love this one. Any fact facing us is not as important as our attitude toward it, for that determines our success or failure. The way you think about a fact may defeat you before you ever do anything about it.
Which is what you said.
Yeah. You are overcome by the fact because you think you are. That is just, and the reason I picked that one is because I have faced that. And if you think that something is going to get you, it most certainly will. Mm-hmm. But if you stand up and say, no, this is not going to happen, you discover ways to make yourself better than what you will ever face. So your attitude towards it changes. Therefore, you can't be defeated.
Right.
You can't. In any way, shape, or form, if you change your attitude, you can't be defeated. Because then you have not lost as long as you have honored yourself, if you will, and taken a stance towards whatever it is that you face. I absolutely just love that one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add there?
No, I was looking at one.
You have one picked out?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Always look at what you have left. Never look at what you have lost. Always look at what you have left and never look at what you have lost.
And that's a glass half full kind of thing. That's a really good one, too.
Yes. I
Because
love that.
why? Because it affects your attitude.
Yes.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Poor me.
Yeah, and that's something that I think people do so much. And I was just, I shouldn't bring this up, but I was just looking at, of course, on a Facebook page, and a friend of mine that I've had forever, went to school with her and everything, her life is just over, absolutely over, because her and her husband has separated. Yes. That's a tough one.
It is. That is a really hard one. Those are the
How
people I coach, so I see that a
ever?
lot.
Yes, and I understand that, but you still have yourself, sweetheart. Like, and that's where people don't look at. She still has 3 beautiful children. Just because of that one fact that happened to her, yes, it's tough. You're going to have to get through it. You're going to have to face a lot of things. But there's still so much more.
Right.
That doesn't define
and maybe
you.
once she may be going through that grieving process.
Yes.
I know I have to do that
Absolutely.
when bad things happen to me.
Yes.
Hopefully she'll snap out of it.
I
And
hope
one
so.
of the things that I tell people, and because those are the women that I coach, a lot of the women that I coach, and they identify themselves so much through being so-and-so's wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that they've lost themselves in that identity, and they don't even have an attitude of their own.
Yes.
They've soaked in everybody else's.
You have to define yourself by being a part of someone else.
Right.
As if-
And so I always tell them to go do something for somebody else.
Yes.
Instead of wallowing in self-pity, to go to a homeless shelter and do something, to
Yes.
go to a hospital and volunteer, to go read to kids for a while, in
Yes.
in a children's hospital. And then you realize really you don't have it so bad.
Absolutely. There was this old saying that goes through that. I felt bad for the man who had no shoes until I saw the man who had no feet.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I think you'd rather go without shoes than you would feet.
Right.
Right.
You know, so somebody always has it worse. Something can
Right.
always be worse than what you're facing.
And you
A lot
should
of people
always
don't
reach out
realize
and lift
it.
that
Yeah.
person up. Right. And yet that person that has no feet may have such a wonderful attitude that you don't
Yes.
even notice that he has no
Yes.
feet.
Absolutely.
He's not sitting around feeling sorry for himself.
Exactly.
And that's, your life is what you make of it. If you feel sorry for yourself, you feel sorry for yourself. And it doesn't matter what anybody says to
Right.
you until you get over that
Yes.
and change your attitude.
Exactly. It becomes an attitude thing of, oh, well, I just really want to be sad for myself. I just
Which is
really-
okay.
Yeah, I
It-
was
for
gonna
like
say,
a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
You still have to feel those feelings
Yes.
and deal with the pain.
Right.
Absolutely.
And grieve the loss. We can't not do that because it will come back and bite us in
Right.
the butt after
Right.
if we don't. But
Yes.
that's
But
a
you
real
have to put it
important
in the proper perspective.
Yes.
Right.
And all the stuff that I've been through just with the network and stuff, I go through that grieving process and I question myself all the time. And then I get over it
you do, and you move on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
because it is what it is. It is what it's meant to be. It's not going to change. You just have to learn how to change your attitude. You
Yes.
have to change.
Right.
Absolutely.
You don't really have to change. You have to change your attitude.
You have to, you have to be, and that's where, like, the quote that I picked out, I was like, kind of goes with that. You have to be open to, there's a reason that these things happen. Be open to see why did this happen? Why would I be put in this situation? Why would I face something like this? And how will I deal? What am I to learn?
Right.
What
exactly.
What am I to change? Who am I to influence? All of those different things. Whereas maybe it really wasn't anything to do with you personally. Like nobody's trying to ruin your life. Maybe they're trying to make you grow. Teach you
Or
something.
maybe they're trying to ruin my life, but the universe is trying to make me.
Right, exactly. There's always that aspect.
And it
Right?
could be they got rid of that also some kick-ass
Right,
but
that's
no
right.
guy can
I think you
Right?
can say ass. I think so.
Yeah, let's all say it.
So I'm going to
That's cute.
pick a great attitude does much more than turn on the lights in our world. It seems to magically connect us all to it magically. It seems to magically connect us to all sorts of serendipitous opportunities that were somehow absent before the change, which is exactly what you just said. And, you know, I think we talked about this last week with Moira as well. If you walk your narrow path and you don't look side to side and your eyes are not wide open, you're going to miss all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
your mind has to be open, as do your eyes, as does your heart.
Yes.
Sometimes you're going to get hurt, but if you keep that attitude, and like you said, Kimberly, learn from what happens bad, and don't make the mistake again.
Yes.
And you know, like your friend, somebody else is going to go through a divorce. They're going to go through the same thing that she did, and that she can help them. You know,
Exactly.
that's what women are supposed to do. We're supposed to lift each other up.
Absolutely. And I think that that's the most important thing, you know, by all means, go through what you need to go through. But then in the future, who's a person that goes through this that I can influence? Like maybe
Right.
just one small thing that I can say would change their day.
Right.
Would change, you know, and help them cope with it better.
Right. Change their attitude.
Exactly. Like, hey, you can get through this. Because sometimes just knowing that somebody believes in you
Or somebody
changes your attitude.
or the fact that somebody has total empathy.
Yes.
I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through, and I'm sorry,
Yes.
but it's going to get better.
Yes.
And you know, we've always been through something worse, you know, and we're still alive, and we just keep moving forward. But I'll tell you, sometimes when you're going through that stuff, it's tough.
And it seems that there's nothing you can do. You know, there's nothing, and you're just like, ugh, I'm stuck. You know?
And that's okay. Really, it's okay.
It's okay for a minute. Be
Yeah.
stuck there. Get
Right.
your Kleenexes out. Eat your pizza and your ice cream and all that kind of stuff, and listen to your sad music. You know. But then, okay, I've gone through this, and now it's time to learn, discover, move on.
Right.
And that's, I think that part of the thing that they think that there's nothing left by one thing. You know,
Right.
It's devastating to see people do that. You know, I
Yeah.
see a lot of lymphedema people that, you know, that do that because it is such a debilitating condition.
Right.
And they're like, geez, I'm just left sitting here in this, you know, myself, I'm very fortunate that I only deal with what I deal with.
Right.
And I'm never going to pretend that, you know, it's a pain in the butt as much as it is for me. But you see people that they can't, and they can't move. And so they're just giving up everything, you know,
Right.
just give up completely. It's like, no, you still have a mind.
And so, and you know, what's the answer to that? I think that the answer to that is to just get over it. Really, it is to just get over it.
It is.
And move
It's
on,
a-
make the best of the situation, and change your attitude. It's if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at
Will change, yes.
I know that people get tired of me saying that, but I say that to myself so many times a week. I used to say it to myself several times a day. And like if someone makes you mad, if you changed your attitude toward that person, you know, who knows what happened that morning?
Yes.
Who knows what happened? And if you smile and bless them and go on your way, it's not going to affect you. If somebody wants to wallow in whatever they're wallowing in, that's okay. But just by a smile and, you know, an understanding thing, it's number one, you're not going to carry it with you all day. And number two, you may in effect have changed their attitude.
Yes, and I don't even remember what it was I saw one time where someone went into a restaurant and this person was just having, like it was a waiter, having just this awful day. Snotty as all can be and all kinds of things waiting on this person. And the person maintained being very, very nice, even though the waiter was like, not so good. And at the end of and most of the time, like, if you get a crappy waiter, you're like, you weren't getting a tip, da-da-da-da.
Right.
No. It was a fantastic tip and a little note that said, I'm praying that your day gets better.
Wow. See?
Use this to do something fantastic for yourself.
See, that's very nice.
Yes. And when you can look at, and I'm sure that waiter was probably like, oh, geez, and examined how he was.